The Forbidden Tales of the Decameron, the medieval work that challenged sexual taboos. What book has The New Yorker called probably the dirtiest great book in the Western canon? You might think of James Joyce's Ulysses or D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover, but the answer takes us to a collection of stories written in the 14th century that challenged all the taboos of its time, Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron. Written in the early 1350s, the Decameron is notable not only for its scandalous stories, but also for the context in which it was created. As Europe was ravaged by the bubonic plague, Boccaccio used this grim backdrop to construct a narrative where death and life are intertwined in a disturbing way. The work places us in the midst of the lawlessness and wild behavior that arose in Florence, where social rules fell apart and sexual norms were openly challenged. In his work, Boccaccio tells us about a group of young aristocrats who flee the plague and hide away in a villa on the outskirts of Florence. For 10 days, they tell each other stories that explore human nature in all its aspects, from love and betrayal to desire and lust. What is most surprising is how Boccaccio very directly portrays female sexuality, a subject that could still be considered daring even today. One notable example is the story of Macedo, a young peasant who pretends to be mute to get a job at a convent. His plan is to seduce the nuns, but what he doesn't expect is that all of them, including the head nun, chase him relentlessly, completely wearing him out. Or the story of a lustful abbot who tricks a jealous husband to get what he wants. These stories, full of disrespect and criticism of religious authority, did not go unnoticed by the Church. The Decameron was included in the Vatican's list of banned books in 1559, but despite this, people continued to share and read the book, so much so that public pressure led to the creation of a censored version that removed sexual references related to the clergy. In recent times, the COVID-19 pandemic renewed interest in this work, with copies of the Decameron selling out in bookstores around the world. Today, the Netflix series joins a long list of adaptations that try to capture the essence of this classic. But does it manage to convey the irreverent glory of the original? Many agree that the best way to experience the expansive energy of the Decameron is still to enjoy it in its written form. Almost 7 centuries after it was written, the Decameron remains a work that provokes us, entertains us, and reminds us that, in the midst of chaos, humanity will always find ways to challenge the established order. If you're interested in more stories that explore the boundaries of culture and society, don't forget to subscribe to Global Update and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our next videos.